go. Okay, so like I said, we're just gonna start right here down on our mats, on our belly. As we get started, we'll just do some spinal twists. We'll get the legs stretched out a little bit. If you want to have like a pillow or something underneath you, if that's a little bit more comfortable, you can. Or if you want to start with the elbows down, just to give your upper body a little bit more space on the mat, if that's more comfortable for you, that's totally fine. We're going to start today just by taking that scan of the body. So if you want to take a second to relax down onto the mat, maybe the arms come out wide, maybe we go to one side, however feels comfortable. So same as usual, we're going to take a couple of moments to find that body awareness, to find our breath, and then we'll kind of get moving. We're going to do a lot of work for our back today as well as a yoga flow. So I wanted to get us warmed up and started here. So first things first, just taking these couple of moments to become aware of how you're feeling today, to become aware of your body, aware of any points of tension that you may find throughout the body, wherever those gather for you. And maybe laying down like this is a little bit different of a position for you, and it allows you to kind of become aware of those points of tension through gravity. Or maybe this is a comfortable position for you. Maybe it's somewhere that you relax in when you're, out poolside in our dreams this summer, right? But becoming aware piece by piece of how you're feeling, where those points of tension are, and then sending those exhales there to allow them to relax. So starting from the top of the head, noticing the muscles in the face and the jaw, noticing if maybe you can let the tongue relax away from the roof of the mouth. Noticing the neck and the shoulders, if maybe those need a little bit release of tension, finding that exhale, sending it there. Moving into the back, upper and lower, and noticing once again the shoulders, but also the shoulder blades, the lower back, down through the hips and the glutes, maybe some points that become more tense as you sit longer throughout the day. So maybe this break in the middle of the day helps you to feel a little bit less tension and pain there by taking that break from being seated. And then moving down into the legs, noticing how your legs are feeling, the quads, the hamstrings, down into the lower legs, noticing the toes, maybe the bottoms of your feet if you have a standing desk, and just once again, without any judgment, becoming aware of all those points of tension, sending those exhales there, trying to find a little bit deeper of a relaxation in this position, and then becoming aware of your breathing. So in this position, our belly is towards the floor, so maybe as we inhale, we allow it to find that little bit of extra expansion, to find that little bit of extra space through the ribs. So maybe you feel a little bit of a lift of the body up off of the floor as you inhale and fill the lungs. And then you can relax a little bit more deeply down into your mat with that exhale. And we'll just find a couple of those here before we get moving. So nice big inhales. And then that nice big exhale. Finding that compression, relaxing down into the floor. Let's find two more nice deep breaths here. And then after that second deep breath, we're gonna bend those knees and point those feet up towards the ceiling. Now, once again, if down on the floor is comfortable for you and you wanna keep the forehead or the cheek to the floor, that's fine. If you're finding, like I said, a little bit of discomfort in this position, you can pull those elbows underneath and just kind of prop your upper body up so that your chest faces forward. We're just gonna kind of windshield wiper those feet. So starting off by getting the legs a little bit warmed up, we're just gonna move them side to side. So through your range of motion, if they come all the way to the floor, that's fine. But maybe you just get a couple of inches in either direction, just starting to warm the hips up, starting to warm the legs up. Maybe you feel a little baby spinal twist in the lower back as you move the legs side to side and the hips adjust a little bit. But just kind of moving them here side to side, getting them ready to get going. Go ahead, take those feet one more time in each direction. And then when you're done, go ahead and bring them back to center. We're going to extend that left leg down onto the floor. That right foot still points up towards the ceiling. And we're going to find our nice big spinal twist from here. So we're going to take that right foot and it's going to come over top of the left leg. So two options. You can either plant that foot and keep that knee bent, or you can extend those arms nice and long into a T and just kind of let it come around to that other side. So we're opening up as far as you can. From this position, if I try and keep my right shoulder on the floor, my right foot doesn't quite meet the floor on the other side of my body. So it's just kind of floating, but that gravity is adding a little bit deeper of a spinal twist. If that's not super comfortable, maybe you just take it back towards center just a little bit more and just find a hip opener here. So just spending 2 nice deep breaths here in this position. With that next big exhale, I want you to go ahead and bring it through center, and we're just gonna switch sides. So extending that right leg long, and then that left leg does the same thing. So again, you can either plant that foot and find that spinal twist here, or you can try and keep that left shoulder on the floor and just kind of open up through the hip towards that side wall. Like I said, this foot doesn't quite meet the ground, but that's okay. I'm just kind of opening up through the hip, finding that little baby spinal twist. One more nice deep breath here. And then I want you to go ahead and bring it back to center. Like I said, we're going to start to warm up through the back. So first thing I want us to find is just a little cobra. So if you weren't there before, pulling those elbows in and just lifting that chest up. Now, if this feels like a good stretch, you can stay right here in this cobra. If you want a little bit more right away, you can press those hands down and press that upper body up towards the front of the room, getting a little bit deeper of a stretch through the front side body, feeling it a little bit in that spine, and then maybe just lifting the chin just slightly towards the ceiling so that your gaze points up. Next big exhale brings us down to the floor, and we're just going to kind of find an activation through that. So I want you to take those hands right to the outside of the chest. I want you to lift them about an inch or two up off of the floor. We're going to find our little back activation here for our swan. So first thing you're going to do is, without using those hands at all, I want you to lift as high as you can with your upper body up off of the floor. So the feet stay grounded. We're just lifting that upper body up nice and long. And then with that next exhale, you're going to place those hands into the floor and then extend up into that cobra stretch for one nice deep inhale and exhale. And then we're going to lower down and do it again. So it'll be a little 1 or 2 inch lift. We're lifting the torso up off of the floor, finding that activation through the back, and then pressing those hands into the floor, pressing up for that nice big cobra stretch. And then that next exhale brings us back down to the floor. We're going to do that 3 more times, kind of taking it at your own pace. So if you're moving a little faster or slower, or you need a little bit longer of a stretch, that is totally fine. We've got that nice little active lift, and then our nice big cobra stretch. And then after that third one, all I'm going to have you do is press it back into our child's pose for just a moment, starting to release through that lower back. So bringing those hips back towards the heels, and then those arms are nice and long. So starting off with this nice little stretch through the back here as soon as you finish that third of those swans. With this, finding a couple of inhales and exhales, a little release for the lower back. Maybe you find a little bit of an extra tricep or shoulder stretch by bending the elbows and bringing the hands to the shoulders. Taking just a moment here. And then go ahead and extend back out long up on the mat. We're going to find a little quad stretch up next. So that left elbow can come down and meet the mat. That right hand is going to come around and meet that right foot. You can grab from the outside or from the inside, whichever is more comfortable. Then we're just going to take a moment to find a nice little stretch. So pressing that heel in towards the butt, finding that little bit extra of a stretch there. So however intense you need it to be today. So if your range of motion brings you to right where you can grab that foot, and that's a really good stretch for the quad, right there is totally fine. If you're feeling a little bit more flexible and you need a deeper stretch, you can just kind of press that foot in towards the body just a little bit and find that deeper stretch. If you need a little bit more than that, you can lift that knee up off of the ground and press the hand and the foot together to find even deeper of a version of this stretch. So any of those, we're going to find one more nice deep breath here in this quad stretch. And then our one big inhale here finds that exhale to release and switch. So same thing, other side. Last nice stretch before we get moving here. So pulling that other side in. Once again, if just grabbing at that heel or at those toes is a really great stretch for you, you can stick right there. If you need a little deeper of a stretch, you can pull the foot in towards the body, or you can lift the knee slightly up off of the ground by pressing the hand and the foot towards each other. Same thing, we're going to find one more nice deep breath here. We've got one more inhale, and then that exhale releases that foot towards the floor and brings it down. All right, so we are going to get moving into our cat and cow next. So I want you to go ahead and plant those hands, bring it up to the knees. So when we get to hands and knees, making sure that the shoulders are right over the wrists, the hips are right over the knees, and then just moving into our cat and cow. So with the pace of your breath, that inhale presses the belly towards the floor and looks up towards the ceiling. That exhale rounds out the spine, tucks the chin in towards the chest, opens up the shoulder blades. So just kind of alternating a few times here. Maybe you start to feel those wrists start to warm up a little bit, so you give them a roll or two. That's fine. Just finding our little bit of an extra warm up here before we move into our flow for today. Go ahead and give me 3 more nice deep breaths here in this cat and cow. As soon as you've finished that 3rd deep breath, I want you to curl those toes under and press those hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Now, when you get there, we're going to spend a couple moments there. So we won't be doing a whole ton from our wrists today, but if they're feeling a little sensitive, we're going to spend a moment here so you can bring it down to that dolphin from your elbows if that feels better for you. And like I said, we've got some time, so just pedaling out those heels a little bit from either of those positions, moving the hips side to side, getting those legs warmed up, getting those shoulders warmed up. So maybe you shift out just a little bit and then press the head back and the chest back towards the legs. So kind of finding that little bit of a range of motion with the shoulders. Maybe you alternate between bringing those heels up and pressing both down at the same time for that nice stretch through the legs. Just taking this time to find a little bit, once again, deeper of a warm up here. Activating through the muscles in the core to keep that nice long spine. All right, go ahead and lengthen both of those legs. If you were down on those elbows, I invite you to bring it back up to the hands. And then we're going to get moving just a little bit here. So don't worry if those wrists are already feeling it a little bit. We're going to take the pressure off of them. We're going to start off with our 3-legged dog with that right foot. So I want you to bring that right foot up and back. Nice little bend through that left knee, sweeps that right foot forward and plants it right inside that hand for our first lunge here. So that ankle is right underneath the knee. And then we're going to bring this up into our crescent lunge. So that next inhale sweeps those arms up and find that nice long spine here. We're sinking into this lunge. So my back heel is up off of the floor. My front knee is bent I'm starting to feel it a little bit through the quads. With our next exhale, we're going to keep the feet in the same position, but we're going to bring those hands down and just tilt the body forward just a little bit. So we're kind of in like an airplane, aerodynamic kind of position. From here, we're going to adjust our left foot and all of our weight to come forward to meet the right into our chair. So I'm going to press back through my left heel, and then with my next exhale, I'm going to bend that left knee and bring it forward. They're going to meet right here. This brings us to our chair. So I found that bend in my knees. That next inhale extends those arms up and finds that nice long spine. That exhale pulls those palms together and brings them down to heart center. Our inhale finds a little extra length through the spine, a little bit deeper, and our exhale folds us forward and lifts those hips up for our forward fold. Now, maybe you have a little bend through those knees. Maybe you take a second to stretch them out just a little bit here. Our next inhale rolls us all the way up to our extended mountain. So we're going to inhale to bring it up, and those arms are going to end up overhead. So whether you sweep them forward or sweep the mountain around, or up overhead. We're going to find a spinal twist in each direction. So our exhale separates those arms and brings us down in one direction. My right arm is behind, my left arm is in front. My next inhale brings us back to center. Those arms come up, and then we're just spinal twisting in that opposite direction, opposite arms on opposite sides. The next inhale back to center. We're going to find that just one more time on each side. So our exhale brings us down to that first side. Nice little easy spinal twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale down to that second side. Inhale last time back to center. And our exhale brings us back to our forward fold. So diving it forward, maybe a little bend in those knees, letting the head, neck, and shoulders relax. Our next inhale, so wherever you are, your next inhale brings us to that halfway lift. We've got a nice flat back, long spine. We're bringing those hands either to the shins or up to the thighs, and then our exhale folds us back forward. We're going to find a nice stretch through that right leg. So that was the one that we had forward. So we're going to step our left leg back. But I just want you to take that left leg back into our pyramid pose. So about a foot, maybe 6 inches, just right behind that other foot. My feet are a little bit offset, but both of my legs are long as I'm in this forward fold position. So I'm finding an even deeper stretch through this right leg in my pyramid pose, keeping it breathing, keeping that gaze a couple of inches in front of those toes. Maybe you rock forward and lift that left heel up a little bit, and then rock backward, which brings us deeper into that stretch for the right leg. Taking just an extra moment here, this first time in our pyramid for that deeper stretch. From this position, we're gonna actually bring it to our triangle. So we need a little bit more space between our feet. Our inhale rocks us forward so that our weight is on that right foot, that front foot. Our exhale rocks us backwards to replace that left foot back at our little bit of an angle here. And then with our next inhale, we're going to cartwheel those arms up, leading with the left. It brings us up tall. Both of those legs are nice and long. So we're not in our warrior two. We're getting set for our triangle. Right leg is long in front. Left leg is long behind. Arms are long in either direction. Our triangle inhales to find that nice long spine. Our exhale brings us forward. So reaching out as far forward as you can. Those hips go backwards. And then we're going to cartwheel those arms down. So the right arm comes down towards the floor, and the left arm comes up towards the ceiling. I'm just going to turn so you can see me here. So we're right here. We're opening up through the chest. You can use that hand on the leg for a little extra balance if you need it. You can use it floating above the floor for a little bit of extra core strength. And just finding this nice, once again, stretch through that right leg, that front leg. Now, if you're feeling stable and balanced and you'd like to revolve that triangle, we're taking that left hand down to the floor. We're opening that right arm up in that opposite direction for our spinal twist. If this is a little bit unstable for you, I invite you to stay just in that normal, regular triangle, unrevolved. Our next exhale, if you found that revolved triangle, brings that right hand back down and opens up through that left arm. So we're back in our regular triangle. Our next inhale brings us back up so that those arms are long in both directions. So we're back to that extended triangle position. We're gonna bring it right here to our warrior two. All we need to do is bend that right knee to bring us a little bit deeper into this position. So if you need to adjust those feet a little bit, totally fine, but we're staying nice and strong and stable in this warrior two position with that right foot forward. We're gonna reverse it. Inhale, flips the front palm, lifts it up and back. Nice big upper body stretch here. Finding this next exhale brings us back to center. Inhale finds just a little bit longer of a spine, and then our exhale brings those hands down to the mat. Right hand comes down first, left hand comes down to meet it, left heel comes up off of the floor. So we're back towards that crescent lunge. Drop that left knee, let the top of that left foot meet the mat into our low lunge. We're gonna spend just a moment here before we switch it up. So if you're ready to bring it down to the elbows in this position, you can, or maybe you just shift those hips a little bit further forward to find that nice stretch through the left hip flexor. Taking this moment here to find a little bit deeper of a stretch as we continue to warm up and get moving. With our next inhale, we're gonna shift it to our half split. So we're shifting those hips back. We're lengthening that front leg, front toes come up towards the ceiling, hinging forward the hips, nice big stretch once again through that right hamstring. Ooh, little cramp. My hips are feeling it today. I am sore, and that's okay. All right, next exhale, shifts us forward, plants those hands, curls that left toe under, lifts the knee, the right comes back to meet the left, downward facing dog. We are back to the beginning. So what we're gonna do from here is just find that same set of things on the opposite side. So taking a moment here, just pedal out those heels. Your next big inhale finds that three-legged dog on the left side. So lifting it up and back, slight bend through that right knee. Next exhale, sweeps that left leg forward, plants the foot, making sure that the ankle is right underneath that knee. From here, we've got our crescent lunge. Inhale, sweeps those arms up. We're nice and tall, nice and long. There's a nice bend through that front knee. That right heel is up off of the mat. Once again, we've got our next exhale, which keeps our feet where they are, but sweeps those hands down and just kind of tilts the torso forward almost into our airplane position. Now from this, we're gonna bring the right forward to meet the left. So our exhale shifts that heel back just a little bit, bends through that right knee, and then brings us forward into that chair pose. At inhale, brings those arms up, sits those hips back. Exhale, pulls the palms together, brings them down to heart center. Inhale finds a little bit more length through the spine. Exhale, folds us forward, brings those fingertips towards the mat, bringing those legs nice and long. Next big inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. Ending with those arms up nice and tall. We're gonna go one time in each direction. Exhale, spinal twist one way. Inhale back to center. Exhale, second direction. Inhale back to center. Exhale, forward fold, bringing it right down the center, back to our forward fold. Inhale brings us to our halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds us back forward. So this time our left foot is forward. We've got our pyramid stretch first. So just stepping that right foot slightly back, both legs are long. Nice stretch through that left hamstring. Maybe once again, you rock it a little bit forward and backward. Maybe you've got a little more space between those feet. Maybe you've got a little less space between those feet. Taking just a moment here. Next exhale finds one more nice deep stretch. Our inhale shifts the weight onto that left foot. We're finding our pyramid feet. So shifting that right foot back, turning that heel down, and then cartwheeling those arms up. So leading with the right, we come up to tall, both legs are long. We're hitting that pyramid next. So inhale for our long spine. Exhale shifts us forward, hips go backward, we cartwheel those arms down, left comes towards the floor, right comes up towards the ceiling. Once again, finding that opening through the chest here. Maybe you use that leg for a little bit of support. Maybe you use your core to keep that torso nice and long. If you're feeling stable, revolve it right here. Right hand comes down, left arm opens up. Nice spinal twist. Once again, if you don't feel super stable, you're welcome to keep it in that regular triangle. If you found that revolve, go ahead and bring that left hand down. Inhale to bring that right arm back up, and then exhale to sink into this a little deeper. With everyone's next big inhale, we're gonna bring it back up to tall. So taking those arms long in either direction, shifting to our warrior two. Bend through that front knee. If you need to shift that right leg back a little bit further, totally fine. Once again, taking a moment here, making sure you have that bend through the front knee, wrapping that quad in, so keeping that hip nice and closed here. Our next inhale flips that front palm, reverse it. Nice big stretch here. Exhale brings us back out to center, and then we're gonna bring it forward. So left hand comes down, right hand comes down, right heel comes up. We're back in that lunge. I want you to drop that right knee, let the top of that foot meet the mat. We've got our low lunge first, so shifting those hips down. Maybe you come down to those elbows. Maybe you just shift the hips forward. Next inhale brings us to that half split, shifting those hips backwards, lengthening that front leg, toes coming up towards the ceiling. Nice little stretch here as we're hinging forward at the hips. Maybe your fingertips come down towards the toes. Maybe you use them for support down on the floor on either side. Next, exhale, shifts those hips forward, plants those hands, curls the right toe under, lifts the back knee. Left foot goes back to meet the right, downward facing dog. All right, so I have one little addition to that. We're gonna keep moving in this. Back to that right foot. Next inhale brings us to that three-legged dog, up and back. Nice bend through that left knee. Exhale, sweeps it forward, plants that foot. Inhale brings us into our crescent lunge. Reach those arms up. Exhale brings those hands down, extends the torso just slightly forward. Inhale finds a little extra length through the spine. Exhale rocks that heel back. And then our inhale brings the left forward to meet the right. We find that chair pose. Inhale, lift those arms nice and tall. Exhale, pull the palms together down to heart center. Inhale for a little extra length through the spine. Exhale, fold it forward, plant the hands, lift those hips, nice forward fold. Next inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. We've got one spinal twist in either direction. Exhale to one side. Inhale through center. Exhale, second side. Inhale back through center. Our next exhale brings us into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds us back forward. That left foot steps just slightly back, just a moment in this pyramid pose here. Inhale, rocks us forward onto that right foot, steps the left foot even further back into our triangle. Cartwheel those arms up, leading with the left. Nice long spine here. Exhale, shifts us forward, and then cartwheels those arms down into that triangle. Now from here is where I'm gonna make this adjustment. I've got one addition, one little challenge. Our half moon can come from this. I want you to bend through that right knee, and then we're gonna shift forward so that our weight is on that right leg. Our fingertips can come down to the mat, and that left leg can lift up. Now, if you need a little extra balance and support, the left toes can stay down, and you can just open up through the chest from here. If you've got your balance going here, you can keep that foot up. You can try and lift those fingertips and open, whoop, just a little bit through the chest here. Our next exhale plants that foot back down, and then we're gonna inhale to bring it back up to that triangle, extending that right leg. Exhale sinks us into our warrior two. Inhale, reverse it, flip that front palm, lift it up and back. Exhale, cartwheels those arms all the way down, leading with the right, brings the left down, brings that left heel up, drop that left knee, top of the foot meets the mat. Exhale to shift us forward. Inhale to shift us backward, half split, front toes come up. Next exhale, shifts us forward, plants those hands, curl the back toe under, lift the knee, right goes back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna find just one time on that second side, and then we'll hit a little bit of core to finish this out. Left foot, inhale, three-legged dog, up and back. Exhale, bend that right knee, sweep that foot forward, plant it. Next inhale brings us to our crescent lunge. We inhale to sweep those arms up, nice and tall, nice long spine. Our exhale brings the arms down and just tilts the torso forward, kind of into that airplane. Inhale for length. Exhale, shift that heel back. Inhale, shift the whole body weight forward. Right comes forward to meet the left. Inhale, arms come up for chair. Exhale, palms pull together, down to heart center. Inhale for a little extra length through the spine. Exhale, folds us forward, fingertips down towards the mat, lengthen those legs. Inhale, rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. One spinal twist in each direction. Exhale, one direction. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, forward fold. Pyramid just briefly on this second side. That right leg steps back. We exhale into that stretch. We inhale to shift the weight forward onto the left. Step the right back to prepare for triangle. Cartwheel those arms up with your inhale. Long legs, our exhale shifts us forward. Hips go backward. We bring those arms down. Now, half moon option. Nice little bend through that front knee, shifts our weight forward. Again, those fingertips can come down to the mat in front of that leg. Those back toes can stay down as we work on that little bit of balance here, or we can open up through the chest, nice and long into that half moon. Our next exhale brings that back foot down, bends that front knee, those arms come up. We exhale to sink into that warrior two a little bit deeper. Arms are nice and long in either direction, nice bend through that front knee. Inhale, flips the front palm, reverse it. Exhale, brings us back, forward, brings that left hand down, brings that right hand down, right heel comes up. We drop that back knee. Exhale, shifts us forward, low lunge. Inhale, adjusts us backwards, hamstring stretch. Exhale, shifts those hips forward, plants those hands, curls the back toe under, lift the knee, left goes back to meet the right. Now, like I said, we're going to get a little bit of back work in. We've got a couple minutes left here, got about 5 minutes left. So I want to give us that little bit of time to work on the back. Go ahead and drop those knees, bring it back down to the mat on the belly. And I've got a couple of exercises for us. We're just going to kind of keep moving through them a little bit just to get that final little bit of work in. I want you to take those arms nice and long. We're going to keep flowing. So our first thing is going to be our X lifts. Opposite arm, opposite leg, lift up off of the floor. We exhale to bring it back down. Alternating sides. We're just going to do a couple of these before we move on. All right, we're going to take it up a notch. We've got Supermans. You can leave those feet down or you can lift them up. Either way, we're bringing those arms and the chest up off of the floor and then exhaling to bring it back down. So if those feet are down, we're still bringing that upper body up and then bringing it back down, or you can use those legs, getting them going a couple of times here. I want to add a range of motion to those arms. So next time you come up, I want you to bend at those elbows, pull them down towards your side, and then extend them back out and then lower down. So we've got a lift. We're kind of almost doing a lat pull down here. We're extending back up and then we're lowering down. A couple of these with that arm range of motion, getting our work through the back here. Nice, give me just 2 more of those. When you finish those 2, we're going to finish out our work for our back with some swimming. You've got the option to keep it at those X lifts, but we're going to do 20 seconds. So I want you to lift up in both directions, getting started with our 20 seconds right here. We're moving the arms and legs in opposite directions. Now, if this causes any kind of pain, you can always bring it to that opposite arm, opposite leg, X lift. But if not, we're right here in that swimming range of motion. Almost there. Keep breathing. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. We're going to find our release into our child's pose. So I want you to pull those arms in, press those hips back towards the heels. You can take those knees nice and wide, sitting the hips back. Nice little release of our lower back. Nice little stretch. Our next inhale walks those hands in and rolls us up onto those knees. And then, so that we don't run out of time today, if you're comfortable on the knees, you're welcome to stay here. If you need to readjust, bring those hips down and bring those feet around to our comfortable seated position. Okay, we're gonna find a couple of nice deep breaths. We'll find a nice little lateral stretch, and then we'll be done today. So our next big inhale circles those arms out and up. When you get to the top, I want you to find that left wrist with that right hand. Your exhale pulls you up over top. Nice little lateral stretch. Our big inhale brings us back through center. Same thing, other direction. Exhaling down. Inhale brings us back to center. Exhale circles those arms down and around. We're going to find that one more time, just like that. Inhale brings us out and up. Exhale down to one side. You can drop that hand if you want to. Inhale brings us back through center. Same thing, other side. Exhale brings us down. Again, you can drop that hand if you want to. Inhale brings us back to center. Exhale circles those arms down and around. One last deep breath. Those palms meet up overhead. Inhale brings us out and up. Palms meet overhead. Exhale pulls the hands down to heart center. Thank you for sharing your Wednesday morning with me. I so appreciate you being here. The light in me honors the light in you. Bowing as we say, namaste.